It is map number 5 with only one more Miramar map to go. These teams are running out of opportunities to pick up some points.
Well, let's get on the plane. This is going to be Miramar Express. Destination, the land of sand, where everything gets in your shoes, gets in the gun barrels, and makes life a living hell. But I tell you what, if you do love sand, you love the heat, you love the look, and love this map. A nice central-ish line going slightly to the east will open up the entirety of the map. Lenos definitely going to have a few hot spots going there. Water treatment being my personal favorite drop point. But, of course, we might see a few of them try and push further, but it's all dependent on that zone coming up.
We have to see where it decides to pull. I would love some power grid landing can give you access to more of those mid-range mountain ranges per se. We'll see if anybody decides to fly out there, and with 16 teams, you know there's going to be some consequences if you don't get your rotations in order. I like starting out with Viz because they have been the team to watch in team fights, leading the lobby with 31 total eliminations and just 3 points behind first place.
Yeah, they are in a prime position to take this lead. They've slowly just crept their way up, kept themselves going, and that's exactly what Viz needs to do, is just be slow and steady, and they will win the race. We should come into the zone in right about now. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible, observers, to make everyone cry, because that has gone northwest. Woo. And very little of the teams are landing there. Look at that. Ugh.
It's pretty gross. It's no water. It's the driest desert you've ever wanted, but it's got some of the best mountain ranges in the entirety of the map. So we'll get some of those interesting high-low stalemate fights as you talked about. It's going to be interesting to see. For Cursed, they are dead center inside of this zone. They've dropped back-to-back 0-point games, but are still in third from their work at the front half of the day. They need to have a good game here.
Typhoon Gaming are really spread out as well. That's something that I would be mindful of, because I've seen like the 2-2 split, the 1-3 split, but going 1-1-1-1, it's not gonna be. It's very risky, and I'm getting some like churning in my stomach. I don't feel confident about this positioning, but again, these guys are playing the game. If you can't play, you commentate. That kind of idea.
The reason we're up here, that's for sure, and not out playing in this free-to-enter tournament that started with 60 teams all the way down to the final 16 here on Championship Sunday. As you mentioned, spreading out can be a little bit dangerous, but I think for Typhoon, they're a team that have shown just like, okay, they're going to charge at every single team. They're trying to gather as much information as possible. And win or die, they've been a little bit quiet here throughout the past couple of matches, but their early points again are keeping them in. They're sitting at 35, they're sitting in the top 4, but they cannot rely on those points to keep them in that position.
First, the sandstorms. Not really going to affect anybody, let's be real. I'm trying to see any big rotations coming in. No one's moving just yet. We probably will start to see the movement come about the minute 30 mark from phase 1 before the zone collapses in. So right now, not really much to speak on other than the fact that Typhoon have slowly closed themselves back together, and everybody's still looting. It's too early to tell who's going to take advantage of these pathways, because this down south, yes, they could go all the way around the edge of the map, but so can 100 ADR. They're just north of them, and they could take a similar pathway.
So many teams around you have got to make smart decisions on the limited roadways here on Miramar that can get you towards your destination. Driftwood and Shiro here with the AUG. The 4x scope is just going to take a 1v1 in. It's going to be the shots through the car, escaping some more damage, having to hit the reload. Not one with the headshot out of nowhere, blows up Shiro, and should be able to get that finish.
That was disgusting, Node. Ugh, wipe that off me. I don't want to see that again. That was pin perfect for a headshot, and Again, Driftwood were just trying to gather that information, unfortunately overexceeded, try to get that kill, but the accuracy was all off, and now Driftwood, they're all too far away to reaggress. They can't come and go for that fight, but in doing so, look at that in the feed as well. Cursed losing a member.
Not what you want to see from that squad that, like we said, has not had great back-to-back games. However, there's still time to recover. As long as your squad is still in, losing one is not the end of the world. Still 16 teams left, win or die, are just trying to encapsulate themselves on the top of these mountains. Grab some information, look out to see if they can get a pick or two, and those scopes are going to be important to watch. You're seeing players go for the 3, the 4 times for those close-range battles, but you're going to need a little bit longer optics if you're going to be taking those mountainous fights.
These guys got it. Give them a 2x and they probably can still snipe me over at the far side of the map. These guys are way too good for it. But, of course, having that scope is a massive, massive advantage as we get some mountaineering from Cursed right now. Not the most conventional pathway, but I tell you what, they still sit themselves plumply onto the hill. They're just inside, but the emergency rotation is going to get spotted by Redline. No damage can be done.
They back off. Redline, of course, that single kill just a little bit earlier. 62 players still left alive as they watch out across all these roads and continue to build up the cars, continue to build up their loot. Of course, has the 8x scope on the NK12, one of the best combinations you're going to see in the entire game. However, I do got to say, we got to remind ourselves that the zone is all the way up towards the north side, so teams need to get themselves set up for success rather than rotate late.
Viz, is Viz listening to us? I know there is an 8-minute delay on this stream, but Viz almost seems like they take the information I give them and then execute it, or take the information from you and execute it. Are you sure these guys are not sitting somewhere and listening in? Because they're taking the exact pathway that I suggested. Take that far west pathway, take that control, 180R, not rotating just yet. They're happy to take some tick damage from this first zone, but the map is looking very colorful in the middle. We're gonna get a few gunfights coming in from phase 2. Almost 100% Typhoon Gaming gonna get a little bit of information onto win or die, but thankfully his life and his brains stay intact.
Dodges the bullets, able to keep going for now. Very spread out win or die is. However, they are kind of right on this outskirt position, so they don't need to really be too scared. There's a shot and a down from win or die. Gets the knock there onto True Fanny, who we saw get involved in some of those earlier late game fights. So I feel like Everlong just has never really had their game, but they have had their moments.
They've had moments, but they've definitely come alive. I believe on the 3rd map that we played, they were definitely a lot stronger there, happier to fight. But when it came to Arendelle, Myanmar, Arendelle in this case, sorry, it's just not been that area. Same with Belief. Belief, they're playing here. They've only got 11 points to the name. They got 2 placement points, 9 kills. The team that really lacking is not broke. They are down with only 2 points, and that's from 2 elims. So they're definitely not broken spirit because they keep on playing, but they're definitely broke when it comes to points.
Yeah, I mean, to even make it towards this grand finals lobby is a feat in its own, but not broke, barely even slipped in, placing 7th in the previous series, getting up to 40 points. It was a really hard lobby to get through, and Driftwood cleaning up. It's K1 line, Diska the double up, and it's down to Chicken Fishy to try and clean up a 1v3 for Playmen. Haven't really had their day either, and unfortunately with the members bleeding out, sending forward the crossfire is enough to get the 3rd down.
That is brilliant, and their last player, I believe, nowhere near, just roaming around in Driftwood. That's a thank you if I've ever seen one indeed, because they've got 3 kills to their name, and now full control of this little compound, so they can take their time. They've got nobody really to close. Viz still rotating not too far away. I believe dark purple of Storm. Storm on request, slowly pushing in, but that zone's gone so central. Most teams are good. Viz, as I said, still rotating. They're going to push in. Typhoon still spread apart massively. One on top of Le Caribera. But then you have this dark green, which I believe is red line on water treatment, still outside the zone.
They're going to have to make a little bit later rotation on in. 100 ADR, even though they haven't dropped a member. They haven't really had their game either, sitting right down at 13th. They've got 12 points in total on the day. They've been really close. It's felt like they've had some good openers into the end game, but then they just lose a player here or there. Things start to spiral out of control, and the number 1 seed coming in will lose a member on the rotation. Lyric will fall from the heavens, and Marco takes him down.
Thank you very much. They say just need to make sure they get that confirmed, because there is the not broke squad slowly pushing up to their positions, and a steal will not be helpful for 31 Gaming. Day 2 down in 9th currently. Not in the contentions for fighting for the for first or anything like that. As I said, the people still in this fight for the top position is at a distance in some stretch. Storm on request, Grove Street, Win or Die, and Cursed still within the 30s, but still have a chance for it. And then at the top, Viz, who are currently being shot at by Driftwood and not hitting anything at this current point in time, is currently second, and Kitchen sitting proudly on top with 2 chicken dinners in their favor.
Playman going to be dropped here by 180R. Playman, another one of those crews we thought needed a good game, but how about Frenchie FPS? Cursed, it's not going to be a 0, at least here in this game. They've got at least their kill, and to talk about taking down a Viz member, one of those other top squads that is competing for a lot of your points, Frenchie FPS has just had a day. Those last 2 games we talked about for Cursed haven't been the greatest, but Frenchie, it seems like, is just always performing no matter the environment.
Oh, 100%. He has been there, present, and pushed up into deeper areas than everyone else. So we're seeing a lot more from him, and it's good to see Cursed able to put 1 on the board. They have been able to get that chicken dinner for themselves, but if they could win this Myanmar game, it would be huge. Ouch. That shot, though, not as huge as this 31 Gaming was expecting.
Not Broker. Going for broke, you could say, on this push, just trying to pick up as many points as possible down there at the bottom of the current standings. They need to have just 2 of their biggest games of their life to bounce on back, and you know, it can be good practice too, even if you are at the bottom, to just say, we never give up. If we were going to be closer, we wouldn't give up either. We're going to play our hearts out. For Kitchen, they're the squad currently sitting in first, shooting the 2nd place crew, and Strasos will dodge a couple of those bullets. Dappy's missing a few.
A little dodge weave. Get that booty shaking as you dodge around. It's exactly what's happening, but thank you. Zone comes in, give me something to distract us from my terrible singing, and oh, we're going back to the city. Le Correbla, I've probably butchered how to say that. Is slowly still in play, but at the same time, a ghillie suit in play. There isn't really much grass around here, but I tell you what, the AWM, now that is a weapon to have on hand.
I mean, especially in the map at play, that is a care package that could literally turn the tides and win you this game. But the risk involved going here into phase 3, 30 seconds until we start getting the shift to go on in. A few teams outside of the current zone don't want to take that extra blue circle damage here, and for Grove Street, a squad that's been quietly consistent throughout the day. Got no kills so far, but have got all 4 players alive.
Run away. Run away is what Belief are saying. Trying to get out of those sight lines, but 100 ADS. Sorry, ADR. Look at this positioning right on top of the Pinnacle Hill. What a beautiful mounting this position to be in, and they're going to get a few picks if they can, but the only downside is once you're pushed up right to the mountain, it becomes ridiculously hard to get those shots off on top. and you expose yourself tenfold to everybody else. So that's something they have to keep an eye on.
Watching every direction is important at this point. 15 teams, 53 players. The Sandstorm is actually going to cover up Redline's transitional area and try and give them some coverage to get the move on. For Cursed, with still 3 players left to go, 31 Gaming is going to drop the duo of Everlong and 100 finally get one of those picks on the long-range rotation. Everlong is going to get 2 players dropped, and Win or Die is going to continue to put the pester on as well with the 6-axe.
Not too much. Win or Die can stay in this compound. They're happy in this position. But I'll tell you what isn't too happy is this climb up. Everyone's wanting to get the high ground, and in doing so, people down low are getting a little worried here. You can see Belief stays alive. Lucky position to be in, but finally Everlong will finally fall. 31 Gaming getting involved into that gunfight as they all slowly clamber up that building, but Viz stuck in a difficult situation. That nade's going to take down the shield as Win or Die is going to try and take out the number 2. And of course, they don't know this is the number 2 until they see the kill feed come into play. But they want that. They're hungry for that.
And as they should be. I mean, Win or Die, a crew that, again, sitting at 4th right now, but has had so many games close to getting the biggest possible. Another play of 100 ADR, going to be dropped off the top of that mountain. Win or Die with still 4 players left to go, and even though we've got 14 teams, only 47 players left alive here. 100 ADR, it looks like they got that Reza, but Win or Die is playing this kind of twice fold position. 2 up on the hill, 2 down low. They can kind of help each other out, but gotta be careful. Don't get overrun, and for Belief, they overrun 1 in the car, but they're taking shots from behind, and their Belief goes down and dusted from Cursed.
Again, another early elimination for Belief. They're not going to be happy with this because they haven't been able to get into that top 10. Sorry, that's a lie. They have been able to once. They got 8th. 7th, sorry, from that positioning. But Grove Street, well, they're still in contention here. They're still in the chance of fighting, and they need to take away Driftwood, get those early kills, and get those good positioning, because right now they're outside the zone, as over the north side as well. We're seeing that push into Lake Corabula. Again, me butchering the name of the place, and we do apologize as Driftwood tries to keep themselves alive. Tiska left. A lot of this Grove Street players are down. Quick heal has to come into play, but Driftwood will eventually fall. A perfectly placed nade. And now comes this lengthy healing process.
Got 2 more players to get up after this, and luckily it doesn't seem like there's a third party even in the area or anybody that else was kind of watching this. Of course, they're going to try and get all the bodies maybe into the car as fast as they can because they are right on the edge of that blue circle damage. 100 ADR got the full res off. There's still a 3-man, but they now have to rotate off of their throne, descend down here with the common people on the low ground with 12 teams left. Again, this is game number 5. If you don't pick up points in this one, you cannot bank on that final game because there's no more after it.
Absolutely. Win or Die haven't really moved from their positions. They've spread out, but then they've moved back into their original spot, and Zone has been helping them tenfold. So they're happy here to stick on the hill. If you're Kitchen, well, you've got some nice little, the nice city to play at. But Viz, well, that's a different story entirely. Viz have rotated from the very south and found themselves right into the middle of the zone. And in the next 20 seconds, we're going to see who's going to benefit once again. As here we go. Here comes Grove Street going for some battles. This is for the 5th and 6th position right here. And in doing so, Grove Street down by 1. But it's going to be the likes of Curse getting involved as well in the distance. So Storm, take their time. And they have to get it right. Not Broke also get involved. They're dead last in this tournament.
Yeah.
Pick up a couple of kills. Pick up some 3 points. He can't get it finished. Oh, that's horrible to see. Are they going to be stolen away? Then they're not. They're going to be able to claim them.
The Grove Street is here. They're going to work their way back, immediately dropping one of the players right on that ridge line. Protovac is able to get that first and now is just working with the rest of the teammate to regroup. 3 players strong, trying to finish off this last place crew. Storm on request, not the game they wanted, but for T-Ling, it is time to heal up. After the first trade away, the teammates might just want to leave to get out of here. It is bodies falling. 34 players is all we have left alive as T-Ling, it's all pretty much down to you.
It really is down to him to hold the fort, hold the bucket. That is still going. Flowers for not broke, still putting the pressure on. They're not in zone. They're not in fighting zone right now. You can see on your map, a lot of players still down south outside the zone. You got, of course, 100 ADR outside of zone as well. Clad able to get the limb, get that done and dusted, but they've got to res up quickly. Not broke wants a piece of this action as well.
I mean, not broke. It would be an insane story if they could find their way from 16th to 1st. It's nigh impossible. Obviously, there's every time a non-zero chance that something crazy does happen. So the continual pressure, I love to see it playing towards their top bar and stealing away some of these points from the other top teams will make it even tighter at the top. For win or die, 7 kills. All 4 players left alive, and a nice priority zone. Hexus loses their life towards a long-range shot from PD Duff.
Yeah, now you got Greedox for win or die. He's been holding this back line, holding the fort for anybody who wants to push up the hill. Doing a fairly decent job. He is running out of heals. Two med kits, 7 bandages to go. So slowly running out here as the south side is just dominated and populated with the mass majority. And 180, how have you rotated in this well?
You've just got a sliver. That's all they're dealing with, and they're doing really good work. 31 Gaming get the full knockdown on their final player that they got. Kitchen gets another 2. Viz getting involved as well. Lots of bodies starting to run into each other, and Akim will take down Cladivo at 9th with the long-range shots.
Typhoon has split themselves. They got one player really close to this gunfight with win or die at 100 ADR, so they're going to get involved as well in a few moments. But look at this push. Leosh, it's all about timing. He just gets tagged by the nade, and it's kind of a, go away. This ain't your area. But as I said, Typhoon, they are moving south. Zone's gone south. So 100% Typhoon's going to get involved. So this is a win or die. 100 ADR and Typhoon Gaming. Kitchen eliminated. Our number 1 only getting 1 point for placement.
They got caught in a really bad rotation, but for win or die, their position is so awkward. Not Broke is just ripping them apart from the backside. The res is already through. For 100 ADR, they can just lay in the nades. You can wait until the circle closes, but I don't think you have the time. Extends is down to 30 HP. And for Hexus, it's the time to move forward. Through the smoke, the shots just to the right. The nades, the shots here from Typhoon Gaming. Their 2 players, the Grim Reapers, as they pick up a double.
Typhoon are really capitalizing on the third party. This is perfect for them. They got their players spread out, so you take the risk with one. And then you have the other just sat back in safety so you can play placement on the other side. And I wouldn't be surprised if they slowly encroach on this battle. Just slowly. You don't want to be too aggressive. And this is where Win or Die now knows there's a third party involved. They know that kill was taken away. Curse also out. That third place team out early once again. I agree. Win or Die. Yeah, Leosh, you're not happy with this.
They are stuck inside a divot that they don't want to be in. Luckily, they're inside of the zone. I feel like, yeah, 180 yards in a tough position. Typhoon Gaming blows them up into 6th place. The triple kill will steal away everything that Win or Die worked for. And now they get to fight for the mountain. 2 separate fights going on over here. Not Broke is going to be encroaching on the area, trying to take some of these houses with Guess Who else. A Redline on the complete other side of the map. They're going to be basically in a squad fight versus Viz.
And Viz hasn't really been doing much. They've been playing quite quiet recently. A couple of kills here and there, so that's going to be a big opening. Not broke, not surprised that they are playing this slow. They're in the best position that they've been for a very long time. But you could be at the bottom, you could be dead last, and next thing you know, you just come out of nowhere and bring the game to your own. This is how PUBG unfolds. Win or die, I've been in every firefight possible. It's just timing this next piece right.
It did feel really bad that they lost those 3 kills, were unable to get the finish themselves. As we get our map view as we talk about, we've got our 3 teams down towards the southern side, and then it could honestly be the chance for Viz to overtake Kitchen with this duo. If they play it smartly, could set themselves up for a Game 6 victory. However, as we know, win or die, if they can find their way out of this position, if they can pick up some kills along the way, even maybe taking out this, what is a trio of Redline, we'll have to see as Typhoon Gaming looks to fight this fight with Redline.
Wrong way, Typhoon. Wrong way. You just walked right into Redline's crosshair. But they know they have another fight to play here, as that's good information. Redline is going to try and take out more Viz. And this is huge. Not broke as well. Also applying the pressure because they're from a distance. Realistically, not broke are in the best position of them all. They're in zone and they have sightlines of all 4 teams. They know where all of them, well, actually all 3, bar Typhoon. So they're in a great position here to take their time.
Viz will lose their first player. Duo was caught with a headshot, and now it'll be the push forward here. Only the down stay, but that means Dogs from Redline can look for this final player. Even trying to survive under the car, it won't work. We're into our top 4 as Viz is eliminated. Here's the fight, though, from Win or Die. They get the first. Typhoon on its brakes, trying to just survive this one. Nades flying all around, looking for the finish. They will get it. Gedrox gets the shots going there, and Win or Die don't want to overextend as this trio.
Yeah, they don't want to overextend, but Typhoon down to their last life. This is going to draw attention for Redline. They're going to get involved. Not Bros want to get involved. Win or Die is already pressuring onto them, so they're all going to start to converge over to this compound. And this compound isn't in zone as well, so it's positioning yourself ready. Oh, a nade! A little stun coming. I thought it was a proper HE grenade, but no. That's a HE grenade, though. Still, Typhoon trying to stay alive, and eventually, finally goes away. It's down to 1 from Win or Die. Non-broke and Redline still comfortable with 3.
Unfortunately, the fight, they get punished on a third party, and Slaven, the final one to do the damage. Win or Die eliminated. Typhoon did the damage, pick up a kill from one of those downs, and now we are in a straight-up 3v3. Who's better?
Big question. Big question. Redline, it's on the maps, on statistics, would be considered better. 9 kills to their name as well for this map. Not broke. Down in dead last. 5 kills to their name, though. No matter what, both sides are going to get a massive jump. Redline, I said, not in contention of winning this championship, but with 7 plus 10, 17 points will massively help them.
Oh.
Kitchen still in a great position, but that's going to not help for T-Ling. An easy res can come in here. An easy res.
Slaven on the side angle, though, is going to toss some mollies aerial. We'll see if they can do some damage, open it up, and maybe just take them down before the fight even starts. The engagement for Redline, the work back, the over-the-hill play for Slaven. Takes DDD 555, a little bit low, sitting in the fire, the burst down, 1 for 1. 2v2 still to go. DDD gets another. It's not broke on the run back from 0 to hero. Pulling off the res as well. Flowers is full HP. Redline has a resable player, but at this point, it is a full reset from not broke, and they're going to get the finish as well.
That's going to be huge. Not broke from dead last, who have been going out before placement points. They've only got 2 points for placements. 2 points from a limbs, and that was it. Now they have 7 to their name. They are gonna make it 8 to their name. They are 1 step away, but unless Node, if Node pulls off the dream scenario, and it won't happen. Not broke from 16th, dead last, takes the game.